Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome to today's episode of Top Deck, my friends. Very excited to be covering a top 500 Jeskai Cycle deck. So this one was ran by V. Cardarelli, I believe originally LSV. So congrats, Cardarelli, obviously, on hitting the top 500 with this deck. And many of you have, after the tier list release, were like, where's Cycle? So finally found one for you. Happened to be right timing, so I decided to run this for you, and very excited obviously to cover it. So appreciate you tuning in, Planeswalkers. We do have a lot to run through today, so you can absolutely go down below to the timestamps and check out where we'll cover the deck list strategy and objective. We'll talk a little bit about how we're going to sideboard for best of 3, and then we'll go obviously and play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3 for you here today. And then we'll close that all out with some kind of final meta thoughts and see where things may land after our gameplay. So with that, Planeswalkers, we're going to dive right into it here. But before we do, I just want to say thank you. I truly appreciate your support. We just hit 1,600 subs here on the channel, so please feel free to subscribe down over there. And additionally, a huge thank you to those of you that are following me on Twitch. I finally hit affiliate here actually pretty quickly, so very excited about that. So thank you guys very much. So lastly, feel free to like the video. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. We got this top 500 Jeskai cycling deck. For those of you that are unfamiliar, essentially the strategy of the deck is everything mostly in your hand is going to have cycle. We do have the ability to play things back with Mythras when we get to it, kind of a deal. This was a new one that was a nice addition in Zendikar Rising. This one wasn't actually main board most of the time for cycling, I believe. So Footfall Crater, something you can pull back, obviously give your guy trample and haste to close things out. We got a lot of things here, but I think the important one to cover is that Improbable Alliance here. Traditionally, this was, is it 2 draw that we've done, or draw 2? That was down in Zendikar Rising again. Now we're seeing this blended into our Jeskai Cycle deck. Then obviously at the top end, we got Zenith Flare, which is going to essentially close the match out for us. And other ways that we can play around. Technically, you could call this a 4-color cycle deck if you do drop and play Memory Leak. Plus, on top of that, we do have the correct mana base to add there. And last but not least, the other pickup that we did get here from Kaldheim is a better, smoother land drop with Mistgate Pathway and Hengegate Pathway here as well. So that is essentially the premise of this deck. We have a lot of great things. It's very powerful. The ability to play this helps protect you against some of those aggro decks. Obviously, the top end here. So lots of things that we can do. The one thing you just got to be careful of is sometimes you may stray from the more direct linear path, and when you do that, you may run into problems by trying to cast something like a Memory Leak instead of being more linear and direct with your cycle and going hard to the Zenith Flare. So just a pro tip there to keep in mind. So that is the strategy, that is the list and objective of this deck. In terms of the sideboard here, I'm going to run through this really quickly because it is important for us for those best of 3 players. And we do have one of my friends here, Doomscar. There was a ton of hype about this card originally. Glad I'm starting to see it pop up in decks like this, because I certainly believe there's a place, and particularly given off the back of the tier list conversations that we've just had, aggro being prominent, Doomscar is going to find a really nice place in the meta here. So we'll break this down in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game for our best of 3. So against the aggro decks, we do have a lot of things that we can use, but keep in mind it's also tuned for that. So well done. We got Red Cap Melee here. I'd probably board in. Glass Casket is something I would also consider boarding in, and then Doomscar is also what you're going to probably board in. So these are things like mono red snow, mono red whatever, mono white aggro life gain, Boros decks, the Naya aggro deck, all those pieces that we've talked about being the tier 1 list are things that you're going to board these in against. Additionally, you could play it against the Gruul deck, Wet Gruul, Gruul Adventures, those kinds of things as well. And then what I would look to take out, to be honest, you're going to really trade around for things like, in my opinion, memory leak. You're also going to want to consider, I would keep this because you could play it. I have been stuffed by it before, and I'm sure many of you have as well. You probably consider moving out Shredded Sails if you don't have to worry about some of those things. You're probably going to want to keep Improbable Alliance. So we're looking to probably cut in those two spots. And then it's just going to be consideration if you want to drop some damage with things like Drain of Stinger, or potentially even a Valiant Rescuer. I do like, again, the bodybuilding here, but we do get an expensive cycle. So that's kind of a consideration, again, from that linear path that you can kind of make. And that's how we're going to fine tune a lot of these things. The reach here is really about dealing that specific damage to those creatures. We don't have that minus the Zenith Flare, and that ability is going to really help you in some of those matches. And then again, if we do play a Rogues deck, you're going to board in things like Soul Guide Lantern, probably a Glass Casket, maybe the Mystical Disputes as well, and you could obviously do the Doomscar. So things to consider there. Now, when we move into the mid-range, these are things like Gruul aggro, sometimes the mono green stompy decks. We've talked about the mono green aggro deck. I'd put that one over there as well previously. And then as we move into some more of the control-based stuff, these are going to be like your traditional Rakdos escape decks. We're also beginning to see some of that hybrid, I guess I would say, between the creature and the spell-based decks, like a Rakdos Sack or a Jund Sacrifice deck. So those certainly fit the mid-range spot. There you're going to have to decide in terms of blend if they're more creature-based. If not, what you want to do to play some counterspell magic here. This one, in terms of counterspell, is not really set up for things like a Claim the Firstborn, so keep that in mind. Really what you're going to want to do is optimize against some of those direct dealers in that space. But if you run into a more traditional kind of control deck in that space, like the Rakdos escape decks, you're certainly going to want to consider running things like Negate, Mystical Dispute, or even potentially Disdainful Stroke on the top end, given what you're playing against. And then obviously Soul Guide Lantern as well for the Croxa decks and the discard decks, kind of a thing. Then as we begin to bridge into the late game, we're going to run into decks like Temur Ultimatum. We're going to run into decks like Sultai Emergent, Sultai Ultimatum. I know you guys love getting me on that one. And then Sultai Control, and then obviously things like the Esper Doom decks that we've ran. So there you're going to really look to move in things like Disdainful Stroke, Negate, and Mystical Dispute. Same thing that I would look to target. Potentially this one, though, this is a non-land card from it, or Player's Graveyard, so you can keep this one in against the Croxa decks. I would then look to remove Go for Blood because they're not really going to be targeting creatures. And then again, the consideration could potentially be Shredded Sails, and then you may want to think the Valiant Rescuer side as well. So I'm always a fan of the top end draw. Frostville Ambush is also one that you could get rid of if you choose Memory Leak over that. I think that's a safe one too, so even given the aggro lineup. So that is how we would board against an aggro, mid-range, and a late game deck, my friends. If you do have questions or comments, please feel free to let me know down below. Happy to help. Feel free to hop in the Discord server. Lots of great help, not just myself, but people in there have asked a lot of questions and a lot of community answers too, which is great. So with that, we're going to go ahead now and play some competitive Magic. I'm super stoked to play this. My initial reaction and feel is, I know Jeskai's been fairly strong in best of 1, and nice to see it in best of 3. V Cardarelli ran this at 8-0, which is really nice. Am I going to do that today? I don't know. We'll see. But I don't play 8 best of 3 games for these YouTube videos. So let's go ahead, maybe on Twitch one day. But let's go ahead now and jump into our best of 1 lineup, my friends, with this top 500 cycle deck. Very excited about this. So standard ranked. There's the mono white life game deck I was running on stream for us. We talked about several of these decks, my friends, over the last couple days for the tier list here. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And then recently, the last deck I think we did was the Mardu Wanada deck. But today we're doing the top 500 Jeskai cycling decks. So let's hop into it here without further ado, my friends. Now, for those of you that are joining now, we talked about, again, how to board for best of 3. We talked about the strategy objective of this deck, primarily being that traditional cycle, with a couple nuances with Improbable Alliance, as well as still technically kind of a 4-color deck, even though we're saying Jeskai. We go first. I like this. We got 2 lands. We got Cycle. We got Improbable Alliance. We got the land hits that we need. I am certainly going to start with this. So for those of you, as always, I truly, truly appreciate your support. Sorry, 1 second. Just got to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. We don't want to not misplay on that. I might cry. We'll actually wait. As always, Planeswalkers, truly I appreciate your support. As I was saying, very awesome. We hit Twitch affiliate. Really appreciate that for those of you that have been tuning in for that. And then additionally, all the new subs, all the tier list stuff, please feel free to subscribe down over there. We've got a lot of cool things coming your way. I'm going to start a weekly meta conversation. Ooh, this is tough. I like this better though. We'll go here first. We are going to start a weekly meta conversation. Very excited about that. Ooh, discard. What do we want to drop? Do I drop a Zenith Flare? I think I do, actually, because I want to keep cycling. Seems weird. Yes, absolutely. We're going to do this. Need the land? There we go. Black. We don't need the black right now. I can play it though to be safe. Double blue is better though. On the top end here. We can draw 2, so we'll wait. And then as always, appreciate your support, you guys. So, oh, look at that. That's a big potential waste in my opinion. I need to get to that land. There we go. That's what I needed. We'll block. Not that we really needed to, but we'll do it. So now we are very glad we did that. I could go Flourishing Fox. I'm actually going to do this. So again, difference between being linear and on task. So that is something we just got to be careful of. Ooh, what do we want to do here? So we can certainly put this guy down. Now, the Sentinel has reach, so we can't forget that. Now we'll wait. So the only problem with dumping the Go for Blood, and again, I was waiting on the first Flourishing Fox here, is that I can't now target the Jasper Sentinel, which is going to lock me down here slightly. But as long as they don't grab a blue here, we'll be okay, because we got that lovely Zenith Flare. All right, so let's Golgari. Pure Golgari. Golgari Elves, there we go. Let's see what we hit. I'm gonna get rid of a land. Could do this though, but we're gonna get rid of a land. So 9. What do we put him within? The block on 1. Might as well send everything, huh? All right, so we'll go 3. It's not enough yet. Let's go with another red. We'll cycle this guy. We're very close here. All right. We should have close. We should have lethal here. Ooh, for the Realm Walker. We'll try and flip it. There we go. And we'll cycle all the way through. And finish. There we go. Boom! Off to a good start with our, I still call it 4-color cycling, but they're saying Jeskai. Lies, lies, my friends. All right. On to our next best of 1 match. Nice and fast. That is one of the things I like about this deck, is it is fairly quick. It is fairly linear. Bummer. Let's go on to the next one. Good old Cycle. We pulled that one off nicely. It's a good matchup for us. Elf deck was a little bit slow. We were on the play though. Priblek it is. We go first. We don't have the right colors. We'll keep it though. Linear, my friends. Linear. We're gonna go blue first. We're not gonna wait, so we're gonna not worry about saving that either. Even though that's beautiful to draw 4 cards at 6. Ooh, what do we got here? There's our white. Now we will play. Could have cycled. That would put a counter on it, but we'll wait. They'll probably clip it anyway. Might as well cycle now. Probably gonna burn it anyway. Oh, maybe not. They got a lot of ramp there. Ooh, a Devour deck. Here we go. I like it. Ooh, I really like that. Now that's an instance where we could have played this and then tapped and give that guy something too. But let's do this for now. All right, we'll end the turn. So we're set up pretty nicely with Zenith Flare already. Devourer deck. I love it. Another goose. As long as they don't wipe the board here, we're okay. Three cards in hand. Another goose! What? What is this? All right, here we go. That's what we wanted. So we can do this. Go with our another blue. Well, do we want two whites? Might want two whites. Let's go with our blue. I am gonna chump the Flourishing Fox here. Ooh. Could have cycled again there, too. We'll wait a turn. I can't cycle twice on that. If I would have, that would have put Zenith Flare at 6. There we go.
Zombies is their adoring obedience.
I'm gonna get rid of our land because we don't need that.
Sorry for your loss.
Let's see what we hit here. Now we could drain that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to drain it. And we'll go from there. We still have board control. We don't know what they have though. There we go. Done. 2 bite the dust, my friends. Interesting Jund deck there. Very, very interesting with Devour. I know we didn't get to see quite fully that deck. On to our next match here. So far, so good. We go first. I like it. Question is, we'll do that. We can still cycle. I think we play a Fox turn 1. That is open to being killed. Here it comes. Here comes the death blow. There it is. So one thing to watch out for, I guess. Obviously. Doesn't totally hurt us though. It just hurts that we don't replenish the card. Rakdos. Rakdos Snow. What do we got, Kirk, here? Nightshade. There we go. We can deal with that. So we will do this. There we go. So So we can block and they can keep playing their guy. That's fine. We'll have our one. We can drop Flourishing. We got a lot of stuff we can play next turn. We just need to start cycling through, or we're going to run into problems to not gain what we need to get our Zenith Flare going. Ooh, I like this. I may drain my Stinger here. They already played their land, didn't they? Uh-oh. There we go. Ooh, come on. Do we get through? Oh, they got a cycle card too. Look at that. All right. I'm okay if they play the Shade though, because it's slightly slow. So what are they going to take is the question. That's fine. We're not going to cycle. Cycle this one. That's okay. We can go with this guy now. Let's go blue. Guess we could have attacked everything in, but that's all right. $16, we need to get 10 damage through. So we can go 2 on Draenith, that puts us at 8. It's gonna be close. Be close to lethal next turn, depending on what they play here. So we could go this guy. I think we cycle. Cycle again here. And we'll be almost at lethal. and that those two dying are going to fill our graveyard. So as long as they don't exile our graveyard, we'll be okay. Ooh, let's see what we hit. We're at 12. Oh, there they go. They got their one guy. Oh, we did it. We did it. A nice 3-0 in best of one here. All right, so let's go ahead into our best of 3 lineup now. All right, so that was the top 100 Mardu Winata deck that we ran. Now we're going to do our top 500 Jeskai Cycling one again by V. Cardarelli. Awesome, awesome best of one play. So let's go ahead and test out our best of 3 with this bad boy. So again, Planeswalkers, for those of you checking this out, we did talk about how we're going to board for best of 3 across the aggro, mid-range, and late game lineup earlier in the video. To summarize how we did in best of 1, we crushed it. It was 3-0 against a variety of decks, which was very, very nice. So now looking forward to playing Gonzalo Villanueva. All right, for best 3. Now, as always, Planeswalkers, truly I appreciate your support. Feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. And additionally, like the video, my friends, you can like me on Facebook and also follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. I do like this start, minus that we don't have red for this, but we can deal with a couple things, so we'll try it. And depending on what Gonzalo plays here, we'll decide on how we're going to board pretty quickly. So the biggest one is that access to blue for some of the counterspell magic. Looks like we're going to hit a Gruul deck. We're still stuck on this lineup here. So the only thing that we got to be careful of here is potential to hit a Bone Crusher. If we hit a Bone Crusher, this guy's gone, which is what it looks like we hit. If the click comes, there it is. Called it. Then now we'll move on. Oh my gosh, we're still getting crushed here. So we need to start flipping some of these things out. So we flipped out a ton of things without any value. We'll see. Might be a straight up Zenith Flare. Alright, so let's do this first. Another flare. We need that red. We're not seeing the red, my friends. Alright, we'll go with another white. Just need the red. If we can get to the red, we're going to be okay. Oh, another brush fire. Oh my gosh, we hit another one. And we can't cycle this guy either. Gotta pay the 2. That is such terrible luck. Terrible, terrible luck. Yeah, we'll do this. That's bad, bad luck, my friends. 4 Zenith Flares. I deserve it though. I crushed best of one, so of course it's gonna happen. Of course it's gonna happen. So here's what we're gonna sideboard in. Doomscar for sure. We'll flip in the caskets. We could run some of those things, but I think I'm going to leave it off for Cleave. We may need to consider this for a Great Henge. So that's 66. Let's drop out. What are we going to drop out here? Valiant Rescuer still blocks. Go for Blood is still okay. I'm gonna drop the Memory Leak's not bad. I think we drop the Frostville Ambers. And then we can go with this will help us block. Let's go with the Foretell and maybe a Memory Leak. There we go. All right, let's see if we can turn this around for best of 3. That was just horrible luck. Poor Zenith Flares. I have not seen that actually. And I used to play a ton of Cycle. Let's go ahead. All right. This is a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit. We'll keep it. This time they can't hit them with the Crusher right away either. We actually hit everything to survive too, which is a bummer. All right, so we'll flip this out. We'll flip that out. Go for Blood could be crucial for us. There we go. Didn't attack with the edge wall. Interesting. Let's do this. Now I'm debating here. Last Casket's not going to do a ton for us, so I think we can play this and get Brushfire off. Then we'll cycle this one. There we go. We still need to get to the 4 for the Zenith Flare here. If they drop something that's going to wipe our sideboard, or sorry, our graveyard, we're going to run into a problem. Oh, no blue still. So we're gonna do this. There we go. There we go. Now we get access to blue. We got access for Go for Blood. We have Luris still. Any damage on Draenith. So Soul Seer would knock out our Flourishing Fox here. We can actually take his beast off if we wanted. That guy's not gonna kill us yet. So I'm okay with that. That I'm not okay with. Six. We're very close. Now we have lethal. As long as they don't take our little flying guy off, we're good. Alright. There we go. Whew. Still a little rough on the mana base there. That's okay. So I'm still keeping this because we need the blockers. This is something you could flip out too. I was happy with what we hit. This guy I'm worried about though. Hopefully they don't have that in the sideboard. That worked well for us main board, so I'm okay with it. Third and final one here for our best of three lineup. Let's see what we hit. Gonzalo Villanueva. Right. Here we go. My friends. This is a tough keep here. But we do have this. I'm going to keep it though. I am going to keep it. Because we got Doomscar. We need to hit a land though. If we don't hit a land on the draw here, we're going to run into some problems. Alright, let's see what we got. 2. There's our brush fire. There we go. So we can do a couple things here. We're going to do this. Oddly, I'm going to do this now. It's going to seem real weird, but it's important. They're like, what the heck is that guy playing? A cycle deck with a Foretell. Or L runes, and this would be fun too. Ah, we didn't hit it. Oh no. Oh no. Getting hurt on the land draw. Oh. Getting hurt on the land draw. Oh, that's brutal. So brutal. We get flooded. Well, we better come back. We better come back. Doomscar's gonna do something. Oh, and not hitting the we want to wait one turn too is the problem. Okay, we're not waiting one turn. Land. We need it. There we go. All right. Here we go. Give me a blue. We need a blue. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. As long as they don't have a cleave. Cleave's gonna do it to us. And the worst part is we're gonna have to lose a land. Ooh. Oh, what's the line here? Here's the line. We want this guy. Give us the land. There we go. I'm gonna hang on to that. Go to 3. We might need to pull Luris over. We'll trade. We need to get to our land. There we go. Do we go blue? I think we go double blue here. And then we'll drop this guy. So that wouldn't have mattered, because if we would have hit it anyway with memory leak, they would have mainboard that. We need a flare to stay in it. Oh, shoot. Actually, I take it back. We can stay in because it destroys target artifact. So we'll do the go for blood here. All right, we got another land. We're gonna put this on. We'll go blue. We can block the gold span. It's too bad that I didn't have 2 of those. Because that would have been nice. We could draw 6, but we're done if we don't. There we go. 2 lands on the cycle. Not what we wanted. Now, I have to, this is going to seem like a weird play, but I'm going to actually attack in with Floris, and I'm going to do that for 2 reasons. One, if they hit my Flourishing, my air guy, they got lethal, and I won't be able to block, so we will attack in with him. Good thing I did that. Very good thing I did that. That's a problem. That's a real big problem for us right now. Ugh. Too late. Look at how we went through over half the deck. So we get flush with 4 flares, and then we don't hit a single one. That is magic for you, my friends. We'll let them do everything they need to do here. And it's gonna hurt. It is really gonna hurt. And I gotta hope I can draw a flare and hit the scoos. Preferably here, I want to be able to cycle twice, though. Because then I can get 4 flyers. I can block Beast. And then we'll have plenty of stuff here. We still got a lot to cycle here. Doomscar would be nice. Another one. Alright, so here we go. Hit a cycle. There we go. There we go. They probably got a cleave though. Ooh, here we go. Could have tried for lethal, but I'm gonna get that guy off the board first. Oh, we would have had it. That's funny. We would have had lethal. I need to save that to hit a creature. That's the only reason why I'm keeping it. There we go. Can't forget that one either. I will take the screws off. Oh, it's too bad. We would have had 3 Zenith Flares in a row, and we would have been just fine. Well, the screws would have got in there, though. They would have cleaned house, so... we will have enough to kill the guy. Oh, it's gonna be close to self-mill. I think we've gone through... What have we got in here? 3, we got 1 left. If we need it. That ping might just be enough to keep him alive. All right, let's see if we can, how close we can get here. Oh, they got the wet Gruul. It is wet Gruul. Look at that. There you go. Probably a counterspell they have left. That is a question. Do I cycle? I think we cycle. Six. Two. We need 1. There we go. We're gonna sit on that. Seems weird, but if they are running Gruul, wet Gruul, we can wait on the Zenith Flare here. It might cost me the game, we'll see. Might not, though. Oh, we got it. Oh, what a match. What a match. We cleaned house today with our cycle deck. So Jeskai cycling here, top 500. We crushed it in best of 1. We crushed it in best of 3. Whew, what an intense match, my friends. All right, so let's go back and check out the deck here and kind of cover off with some final thoughts. Technically, you're cycling. I've said this before with Zendikar Rising because it's the 4-color. I know we're calling it Jeskai here, so we'll go with that. It's primarily Jeskai because we are running these guys and actually playing blue, and it was definitely a huge piece of this deck. So Planeswalkers to circle back. Whew, I was shaking there. Great match in best of 3. We took it down 2-1 against Gruul deck, became a wet Gruul deck. And then additionally in best of 1, we went 3-0. We cleaned house too. So very fun. The only match we actually lost is we held 4 of these in our hand in the Gruul matchup. So that was pretty cool to see and bad at the same time. So we did persevere and play through and make it happen and make it rain today. So with that, Planeswalkers, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. In terms of where this fits in the meta, again, many of you guys have asked me about this. It's certainly a hot deck again in best of 1. It has been a great deck in best of 1. You know, probably borderline tier 1, tier 2, particularly depending on how many decks we would run in the meta. It's certainly got a healthy win rate right now. It plays well and has the ability to hold up against some of those aggro decks. We didn't play any true pure like mono white aggro or mono red aggro today, but it can certainly keep pace with those given some of those matchups. And then in best of 3 as well, you know, given that sideboard, I would say, given some of these things that we have, and I've seen it before with the counterspell magic to hold up against the late game stuff, absolutely probably a tier 2 deck, to be honest, probably in the middle pack. So we'll see where things kind of evolve, where things take shape and where they go. For those of you that like budget decks, this is the budget deck absolutely that you can be playing. So keep that in mind, my friends. It is a cheap entry deck to play. Obviously a top 500 deck. You guys can certainly make it to ranked. And generally when I coach players, this is the one that I highly recommend to start with. So linear, very direct, very forward. We've got a few things here with Probable Alliance and a couple other things in this deck too that are different, that do make it you know, a nice variation here. So Planeswalkers, with that said, as always, if you do have questions or comments, let me know down below. Feel free to hop in the Discord server. Appreciate your support, truly I do. As always, we hit 1,600 subs. Crazy. Finished out the tier list for this month. Looking forward to the weekly meta and bringing you some of these collaboration videos. So please feel free to subscribe down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You guys can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I did hit affiliate there, so looking forward to do more of the live stream interaction with you guys. So with that, Planeswalkers, stay safe, take care, stay tuned. Until next time, we got a lot of things coming your way.